Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator exclusively on DRF Bets. Dan Illman and Mike Beer creeping closer to Saturday's Florida Derby at Gulfstream Park. Race number 13 is the Grade 3 Appleton. It's 100 grander at a mile on the turf. Let's take a look at this field. We've got a very intriguing entrant in here, returning off a lengthy layoff. That's your morning line favorite. The 7, Phantom Currency, won 3 out of his last 4, Mike, but we haven't seen him since February of 2021.
Yeah, it's a really long layoff for a horse who, listen, he might be at his best going longer than this, Dan. He's also a horse who feels like he wants to be part of the pace, and it feels like they're going to go fast in this race. There's a lot working against him, but he's a good horse.
Timeform US agrees with your assessment. As we throw up the pace projector, you'll note the red bar indicating a fast pace. Now, I'm not sure if Wolfie's Dynaghost, who is a fast horse, is going to make the lead. I'm not sure if it'll be Noble Indy, but Gray's Fable has showed a tendency to pull, and he's fresh. Phantom Currency might show speed at longer distances, but he's quick. Carpenter's Call has really gotten good since switching to turf and showing his speed.
Yeah, there's just a lot of pace in this race. I mean, I don't really doubt that Wolfie's Dynaghost is fastest of these early if he wants to lead. We'll see how they decide to play it, but there are plenty of horses who feel like they're just going to come out of there running.
Noble Indy, the number 1, won the 2018 Louisiana Derby, and he almost blew up the tote board. Last time out in his first start off the Gustavo Delgado claim, he was 105-1 in a 7-horse field, and he made an early move into the teeth of the pace in a race that went to closers. He ran okay.
Yeah, he's run okay on turf several times, and as you mentioned, he was also a pretty good dirt horse in another lifetime. He's never been great, but he's always been pretty good. Really, Dan, the story of the Canadian turf last time is that the heavy favorite from the Pletcher barn totally bombed in there, and it sort of opened the race up for everybody else. But still, this horse, you know, he ran a pretty good race off the claim. He's going to be a big price once again.
The 2 Scarlet Sky just looks like the typical Shug McGahee trainee that's going to improve as he gets older. This will be his first start as a 4-year-old, his first start against older horses. And if you believe this pace is fast, he has the correct running style for this race. He doesn't have a lot of speed. He's going to lag behind, and he is going to run on late.
Yeah, that was his MO as a younger horse. We'll see if that's still his MO now. He missed a lot of time as a 3-year-old, but he ran some good races before the layoff. His 2 races when they brought him back, you know, they weren't great. But he ran some good races before that layoff, Dan, especially the Transylvania, where he sat last in a short field, and he came with a really big finish to get the job done. He ran well in this Palm Beach here last year, but that race, that was just a meltdown race. They were flying up on the lead in there. I don't know if they're going to go that fast, but they're going to go fast in here in front of him again.
The well-bred number 3, Wolfie's Dynaghost, I believe he's kin to Sadler's Joy, millionaire on the turf. He's run well on dirt. He's run well on turf. Here's his win in synthetic 2 starts back. He was dismissed at a giant price in this race. He sat off the early leader. He made the lead on the turn. He took 2 strong challenges, and he shrugged them both off. This was a solid performance for Wolfie's Dynaghost, who ran on dirt last time out and might have found that field a little bit too tough for him. I think he has the tactical speed to adapt if someone else wants the lead, and I still believe he can handle turf just fine.
Yeah, I do too. I'm still a fan of his. He didn't even run badly in the Challenger last time, Dan. I mean, that was a good field, and he was still in the mix down to deep stretch before he got tired. I have no problem with that performance. I guess the only thing I don't like about him is I still don't think he's as good on turf as he is on dirt or synthetic. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'll let him prove me wrong in this race, though. It feels like he's going to be one of the shorter prices, and I'm not going to bet him.
Usually we see Michael Maker claim horses, jump them up into graded stakes races, and see them be very competitive. This time, the 4 Order-in-Law was claimed away from Maker off this victory on February the 24th. This horse has run some races in stakes in the past. Placed against Restricted Company at Santa Anita. He got a good setup in this $50,000 seller, Mike. He sat off a solid pace, swings to the outside, and is too good for them late. This was not a very strong field, I didn't think.
I didn't either. It's a pretty big step up in class for this horse. Now, it's not, he's not facing a bunch of killers in here, but it is a better field. He did get into good form for Maker, though, Dan. And, we'll see if his new connections can sort of keep it going for him. He's got speed, but he doesn't need to be on the lead.
The 5 Grays Fable returned off a lengthy layoff to win this race last year in gate-to-wire fashion at 7-1. He's going to try to duplicate that feat for a great trainer in Roger Atfield. We haven't seen this horse since August. He seemed to go off form over the summer at Woodbine. I liked his race at Churchill Downs in the opening verse in April, where I thought he ran very hard early and got caught by 2 sharp horses at the end. The question is, can he rate? Well, in his past performances, he can.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of trip he gets, because you're right. When he won this race last year, and it was a similar layoff, all those things that sort of make you feel like they probably did this by design coming back in this race, Dan. He's not going to control the pace this year like he did when he won the Appleton last year. They're going to go way faster early, so we'll see how much it affects this horse. I still got to believe he's a contender in this race, though. If he can just sit a little bit, and he's more than that 5-1 morning line, I would never bet him at that price. But if he drifts up to some kind of bigger price, I could use him.
We have a classic winner in this race, and he's 15-1 on the morning line. That's the number 6, Safe Conduct, who won the prestigious Queen's Plate over Synthetic at 1.25 miles. Still searching for his first win since then. Didn't run very well in the McDermott last time out, going 1 3/8 miles. That was a solid pace he was on, but he tired very, very badly. It's his second start of the form cycle. They're cutting him all the way back to 1 mile. He likes to be forward, but I don't know if he has miler speed.
I don't know if he does either, but I prefer him going shorter, Dan. I know that he won the Queen's Plate. His other races going longer distances, I just don't care for those efforts at all. I think he's a better horse over shorter distances. And listen, he started out his career, his first few turf races going, 1 1/16 to 1 1/8. He ran well in those races. I'm happy to give this horse a chance on the turn back.
Phantom Currency won his finals 2 starts of 2021. They were on January 13th and February the 27th. He has been away for over a year due to a soft tissue injury, but he was good when he was good. Let's watch the McDermott back on February 27th, 2021. He got away with a nice, easy lead in this race, going 1 3/8 miles. He's game to win, 99 Buyers speed figure. He was in very good form. It's a shame he got hurt.
Yeah, it's too bad because he was going really good at the time. We'll see if he can come back and still be the same horse now as a 6-year-old, Dan. If he does, if he can do that and, run one of his good races here, I suspect he could be pretty hard for this field to beat. The other question with him, though, is, how is he going to do it without the lead? He's finished first. He was disqualified once. He's finished first 6 times in his career. He was on the lead in every one of those races.
And you could argue he also wants slightly longer than the mile. This could just be a starting off point. Carpenter's Call has improved by leaps and bounds. He's become a completely different horse since he switched to turf for trainer Gerald Bennett. Let's watch his last race. A second level allowance at Tampa Bay at 1 1/16 miles. He just took advantage of a great ride. He got to the lead. He backed down the fractions. He sprints on home. He's just able to hold off the runner-up. His 3 wins have come with Lasix. Of course, Lasix off in the Great Stake at Gulfstream on Saturday, but he's found a home on the turf.
He has. I think he's run well in all 3 of those wins on the grass, Dan. Bump up in class here, though, into a race that they're just going to go way faster early. We'll see if he can deal with it. He did sit off another horse 2 starts back, but that wasn't a very good field that he beat. It's going to be way harder for him to beat this field, I think.
English B doesn't win very often, but he has excellent tactical speed, and he should be able to work out a good trip behind the speeds. Last time out on the Canadian turf, that was the race where the big Pletcher favorite bombed, where Noble Indy tried to pull off the sweeping wide move. Let's watch English B, because he's covered up, turning into the stretch. He's in behind horses, and the pace was solid. He was up close to it. Again, the race went to closers. He finishes fine to be third. I wouldn't be surprised at all if English B wins. I think 7-2 is a little bit light considering his overall win record, but he's a solid horse.
Yeah, he's just very consistent. I'm with you. I don't want to bet him at anything like, the morning line or a price similar to that. I mean, even in this race that we're just watching there, Dan, he didn't have any trouble in that race. He was right there at the top of the stretch. He was clear, never got stopped, and he didn't really finish at all. He finished third, but there was never any point where it looked like he was going to win that race. I don't know. To me, he's one of those horses who I think looks better on paper than he actually is.
Didn't change leads in that race as well. Let's take a look at our top picks for the Appleton. I'm going to try to stay away from the layoff horse in here. Wolfie's Dynagos, I'm concerned about that Timeform US pace projector. I do think he can sit a little bit, and I still think he's yet to achieve his potential. If he's going to do it, maybe it's in a field like this. Scarlet Sky might be the 2. This is a horse that should get the right setup, and he is a proven stakes horse on his best day.
Yeah, I'm just hoping he can take a little step forward. Now he's supposed to be starting to do that as a 4-year-old now. Dan, he was pretty good at 3. The race is supposed to set up for him. I just wanted to avoid the favorites. I'll take a shot with that horse. I'm going to try to get that Phil Serpy horse in there, the 6 Safe Conduct as well.
2765 for Mike, 3745 for me in the Appleton on Florida Derby Saturday. Best of luck.